You ask, what's DMAIC and what's the big deal about Lean Six Sigma? Most organizations outside manufacturing think Lean Six Sigma does not apply to them. They couldn't be more wrong. Every organization in our company has problems. A problem is simply a gap between where we are today and where we want to be tomorrow. Is there a single organization that reports to you that has a dashboard that is completely green? I didn't think so. DMAIC is the common Lean Six Sigma framework. DMAIC is based upon the scientific method, but at the end of the day, it's just plain common sense. D. D stands for define. Define clarifies what exactly is the gap. M stands for measure. Measure quantifies how big is the gap. A. A stands for analyze. Analyze answers why does the gap exist? I stands for improve. Improve is how do we close that gap? And finally, C stands for control. Control is how do we keep that gap closed? That's it in a nutshell. DMAIC, and it applies to every organization. Now, if you have one more minute, here's the core of each phase and why they exist. Define. What is the problem that we're trying to solve? Sometimes that's straightforward, but sometimes it's not. And sometimes we solve the wrong problem. I'm sure you've never seen that happen before. So, we do a good job in aligning the organization on what problem we're solving. Measure. I'm sure you've seen where people point fingers and say, you have a problem. You actually measure the gap based upon data. Is the problem real? Is it as bad as you think it is? Measure gets the organization aligned on how big the gap is. And is that gap worth addressing? Analyze. This is where we determine the true root cause or causes of the problem. And it's the most important phase of DMAIC. We don't guess. We allow data analysis and structured testing to determine root cause. I'm sure you've seen where people shoot from the hip on what the issues are, only to find out later that they were wrong. Root cause analysis in Lean Six Sigma is far more systematic and data driven. Improve based upon the confirmed root causes with pilot solutions, and we see if they actually address the root causes. I'm sure you've seen situations where we spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on a fix and it didn't work. In Lean Six Sigma, we carefully pilot and study the data. Did we actually get it right? Finally, control. Although analyze is the most important phase, control is the most critical phase. We use every effort to hold the gains and ensure problems don't come back. How many times have you seen that problems you thought were solved actually come back? It's because we didn't do a good job in control. And we stopped that. So 3 minutes and 43 seconds. The first part of the elevator speech was just over 90 seconds. So let's recap in terms of the acronym and the word gap. D, define. What is the gap? M, measure. How big is that gap? A, analyze. Why does the gap exist? I, improve. How do we close the gap? C, control. How do we keep that gap closed? With this simple explanation, every organization in the business can use Lean Six Sigma successfully. Now, in a future episode, that executive you just talked to is going to call you up and want more information. We'll see you then.